Ladies and gentlemen, we often hear the phrase live in the moment, but what does that truly mean? It's easy to say, but far harder to practice. In a world that's constantly moving, where our attention is pulled in 1,000 different directions, embracing the present requires intention and mindfulness. We live in a society that glorifies multitasking and being constantly busy. We're often juggling emails, social media notifications, work, and 1,000 little tasks, while our minds are already racing ahead to what's next. But here's the truth: if we're always thinking about the future, we miss what's happening right in front of us. If we keep holding on to past regrets or past accomplishments, we rob ourselves of the power of the present moment. Time doesn't wait. It flows like a river, and once a moment passes, it's gone forever. No matter how much we wish we could go back or how much we plan for the future, we only have right now. And right now, this very second, is the most precious gift we have. When you embrace the present, you focus fully on the here and now. You free yourself from the mental clutter of what if and I should have, and choose to be fully aware of where you are. Whether you're sitting with a loved one, working on a project, or even simply enjoying a quiet moment by yourself, embracing the present is about fully engaging in what's happening right before you. It's about savoring life's small details: the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of a friend's laughter, the feeling of your breath in your chest. One of the most powerful aspects of embracing the present is that it helps you cultivate gratitude. When you stop rushing through life, you begin to notice the things you would otherwise overlook: the simple pleasures, the connections with people around you, and even the opportunities in front of you. By truly embracing the present, you allow yourself to live a more fulfilling, connected life. So, take a deep breath, slow down, and open your eyes to the present. Don't wait for tomorrow or long for the past. The present is where everything happens, and it's the only time you can truly change your life. Embrace it fully, and you'll find that each moment becomes more meaningful, more alive, and more powerful. Does this version work for what you're aiming for? Prioritize what truly matters. When we face the reality of having only 24 hours, the question of what truly matters becomes unavoidable. With limited time, there's no room to waste on distractions, trivial pursuits, or things that don't contribute to our overall well-being. We are forced to get clear on our priorities, to focus on what brings meaning and purpose into our lives. Many of us spend so much of our time focusing on things that seem urgent but aren't necessarily important. The pressure of deadlines, the demands of social media, and the constant notifications from our phones pull our attention in a million different directions. We end up rushing from task to task, but at the end of the day, we often find ourselves asking, did I do what mattered most? The answer for many is no. When you realize that you only have 24 hours to make an impact, you quickly understand that time is the most precious resource you have. And once you understand this, you are able to make better choices about how to spend it. Prioritizing what truly matters is about being discerning in how you allocate your time, energy, and resources. So what does truly matter? It's the things that bring you closer to your purpose. It's the relationships that nourish you, the work that fulfills you, the passions that light you up. It's the moments of stillness where you can connect with yourself and the world around you. When you prioritize these things, you are investing in what will bring you long-term happiness and fulfillment. For instance, consider the relationships in your life. Are you giving enough time to the people who truly matter? In a world full of distractions, it's easy to let friendships and family time slip through the cracks. But when you look back on your life, you'll remember the people you spent time with, the love you shared, and the moments of connection. These are the things that will last, not the trivial arguments, not the unimportant emails or the fleeting moments spent on social media. It's also important to prioritize your health and well-being. How often do we put our physical, emotional, or mental health on the back burner because we're too focused on work or other commitments? If you only had one day, wouldn't you want to feel energized, healthy, and strong? Investing in your health today ensures that you can live a life full of energy and vitality. It's not just about physical fitness, it's about mental and emotional well-being too. Take time for self-care, get enough rest, and give your mind the space it needs to rejuvenate. Another area where prioritization is essential is in your goals and passions. What are the things that light a fire inside you? What dreams have you set aside, waiting for the right time? Well, there's no time like the present. Prioritize your passions and work towards those goals today. Even if you can only take small steps, each step brings you closer to the life you want. Make time for what excites you because this is what will sustain you over time. The key to prioritization is being intentional with your choices. It means saying no to things that drain you, things that aren't aligned with your values or long-term vision. It means recognizing the importance of boundaries and creating space for the things that bring meaning. And sometimes prioritizing what matters means slowing down and simply being present with those you love, or giving yourself permission to rest and recharge. When you make these choices, when you focus on what truly matters, you are not only making the most of your 24 hours, you are ensuring that your time is spent in alignment with your deepest values. And when you live in alignment with what matters most, you create a life that is rich with meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Let me know if you need further adjustments or more elaboration. We live in a world that often praises perfection, where the standards seem impossibly high, and the pressure to get everything just right can be overwhelming. We feel the weight of trying to achieve flawlessness in our work, our appearance, and even in our personal lives. But here's the truth: perfection is an illusion. It's an ideal that, no matter how hard we strive for it, will always remain just out of reach. Instead of chasing perfection, we should be focused on action, the kind of action that propels us forward, even if it isn't flawless. When you only have 24 hours, the urgency to act becomes clearer. You realize that waiting for everything to align perfectly is not only a waste of time, but it also prevents you from making progress. Perfection often leads to stagnation because we're stuck in the planning phase, paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. We overthink, second guess, and delay, waiting for the perfect moment to take action. But here's the thing: there is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is always the one you create when you take the first step. Taking action is about making progress, not achieving idealized end result. It's about moving forward no matter how small the step might seem. Action gives us momentum, and momentum builds confidence. It creates a cycle where each step leads to the next. And before you know it, that small, imperfect action turns into a series of achievements. And think about any major accomplishment or breakthrough in your life. Did you wait for the perfect moment? Or did you start, even when things weren't ideal? Maybe you launched that business idea before you had all the resources. Maybe you wrote that first page of your book even though you weren't sure if you could finish it. Maybe you made that phone call or had that tough conversation before you were ready. In every case, it was your willingness to act rather than wait for everything to be perfect that led to progress. Perfectionism is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of looking foolish. It makes us believe that if we can just get everything perfect, we can avoid these fears. But here's the reality: failure is not the end of the world. In fact, it's often the stepping stone to success. Mistakes are not something to be feared, they are opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. The more you take action, the more you learn from your missteps, and the closer you get to your goals. Let's also talk about the fear of judgment. Perfectionism often stems from the worry of how others will perceive us. We want our work, our ideas, and our lives to be seen as flawless because we don't want to risk rejection or criticism. But in reality, people are far more understanding than we give them credit for. Everyone makes mistakes, and in many cases, people admire your ability to act and move forward, even when things are less than perfect. The world doesn't need perfection. It needs authenticity, effort, and the willingness to try. When we embrace action over perfection, we give ourselves permission to be imperfect. We take risks, we experiment, and we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones. This is where growth happens, not in the safety of perfection, but in the messiness of taking bold, imperfect steps toward our dreams. If you only have 24 hours, don't waste any of it by waiting for the right moment to take action. There's no time to perfect every detail. Instead, take action now, even if it's not perfect. Take that first step, and then the next. And when you encounter obstacles or setbacks, because you will keep moving forward, the journey will teach you far more than perfection ever could. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. The sooner you act, the sooner you'll see results. And even if things don't turn out exactly how you envisioned, you'll still be closer to where you want to be than you were before you took that first step. Let me know if you need further adjustments or more detail. Living with intention is about more than simply going through the motions of life. It's about waking up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing why you're doing what you're doing and how it aligns with your values, goals, and the person you want to become. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of life, responding to external demands, obligations, and distractions without ever stopping to think about whether those actions truly serve your deeper desires. But when you live with intention, you become the architect of your life, making deliberate choices that reflect who you truly are and what you want to create. Living intentionally begins with mindfulness, the practice of being present and aware of each moment. Too often, we find ourselves on autopilot, moving from one task to the next without really thinking about why we're doing them. We check off items on our to-do list without considering their significance or impact. But when you live with intention, you pause and reflect before taking action. You ask yourself, why am I doing this? How does this contribute to my long-term goals? Is this aligned with my values? Every choice, no matter how small, is an opportunity to either move closer to or further from your vision of your ideal life. When you approach your decisions with intention, you empower yourself to choose actions that reflect your true priorities rather than letting external circumstances or other people's expectations dictate how you spend your time and energy. It means asking yourself if what you're doing is worth your time or if it's just a filler activity to pass the day. Intentional living also involves setting clear goals. Without a roadmap, it's easy to drift through life, hoping that things will fall into place on their own. But without clear intentions, we risk getting lost in distractions or wandering down paths that don't lead us to where we want to go. Setting goals allows you to direct your energy toward what matters most, helping you focus your efforts and make decisions with clarity. These goals don't have to be huge, even small. Daily intentions can make a significant impact on your life's trajectory. Moreover, living with intention requires that you actively protect your energy. In our busy, always connected world, we're constantly bombarded with requests for our time, attention, and emotional bandwidth. It's easy to overcommit, saying yes to everything and everyone because we don't want to disappoint or miss out. But living intentionally means being discerning about where you invest your time and energy. It means saying no to things that don't align with your values or don't move you toward your goals, even when those things seem urgent or appealing in the moment. In relationships, living with intention means being present with the people who matter most. It's easy to let time slip by, distracted by phones, work, or other obligations. But true connection requires intentionality. It's about choosing to listen deeply, engage fully, and prioritize the people who bring value and support into your life. When you live with intention, you make room for meaningful connections and avoid the temptation to fill your social calendar with shallow interactions that don't nourish your soul. Living with intention also involves cultivating a sense of gratitude for the present moment. It's easy to get so focused on the future or the next big achievement that we forget to appreciate where we are right now. But when you approach life intentionally, you make space to recognize and appreciate the small moments, the quiet cup of coffee in the morning, a meaningful conversation, a sunset, or the feeling of accomplishing a small task. These moments, when acknowledged and appreciated, enrich our lives and keep us grounded in the present. Finally, intentional living calls for alignment with your deeper purpose. It requires you to reflect on what truly matters to you and to live in a way that honors your core beliefs and desires. This doesn't mean everything will always go according to plan or that every day will be perfect. But it does mean that when you act with purpose, you're continually shaping a life that is true to yourself. You'll find that your days feel more meaningful, your decisions feel clearer, and your overall sense of fulfillment deepens as you make choices that resonate with your truest self. Let me know if you'd like further adjustments. Legacy is something we often think about when we're older or when we're faced with moments of reflection. But the truth is, your legacy is being built every single day. It's the sum of your actions, decisions, and interactions, the footprints you leave behind in the hearts and minds of others. Legacy is not just about what you leave for others when you're gone. It's about what you give to the world now. The impact you make today can ripple out into the future in ways you may never fully see. but it will shape how you are remembered and how your contributions continue to influence others long after you're gone. Reflecting on your legacy means looking beyond the fleeting moments of your life and considering the longer term impact of your choices. It's about asking yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? What do I want to contribute to the world? How do I want my actions to influence those around me both now and in the future? These questions aren't just for moments of reflection, they should guide the decisions you make every day. Your legacy is created in the small, everyday actions you take, not just in the grand gestures. A key part of reflecting on your legacy is understanding that it's not just about material achievements or accolades. While success in work, creativity, or other endeavors can be part of your legacy, the true essence of a meaningful legacy is found in how you made people feel, how you treated others, and the values you live by. Legacy is often carried through stories, the stories people will tell about you, the impact you had on their lives, and the way you made them feel seen, heard, and valued. Did you live with kindness? Did you contribute to the lives of others, whether in big or small ways? Were you generous with your time and attention? These are the things that people will remember long after the details of your career, achievements, or material possessions fade away. Reflecting on your legacy also requires an awareness of your relationships, the way you show up for others, the quality of your friendships, the strength of your family bonds. These are the foundations of your legacy. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of daily life, checking off to-do lists, pursuing career goals, or attending to responsibilities. But the connections you make with those around you are what ultimately define who you are. The way you support others in their growth, how you show up during their toughest times, and the way you celebrate their successes, all of this contributes to the legacy you leave behind. Your legacy is often reflected in the people whose lives you touched, the values you instilled in them, and the positive changes you helped foster. Another important part of reflecting on your legacy is considering the mark you want to make on the world at large. What do you want to contribute to the broader society? What changes do you hope to inspire? Legacy isn't just about those closest to you, it's about the impact you have on the larger community, the world, and future generations. Whether it's through your work, your creativity, your activism, or simply your everyday actions, the influence you have can extend far beyond your immediate circle. By living with a sense of purpose and focusing on what you want to contribute, you ensure that your legacy has meaning beyond your lifetime. Legacy also involves the lessons you teach and the way you lead by example. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are teaching those around you how to live, how to respond to challenges, how to treat others. The way you handle adversity, the way you act with integrity, and the way you pursue your passions, these actions shape how others view the world and their place in it. Your legacy is in the ways you inspire others to be better versions of themselves, to pursue their dreams, and to make a positive impact on those around them. Reflecting on your legacy requires you to ask hard questions about the choices you are making right now. Are your actions aligned with the legacy you wish to leave? Are you living in a way that reflects your core values and principles? If not, what can you do today to shift the direction you're heading? Legacy doesn't happen by accident. It's shaped by the decisions you make, the actions you take, and the intentions you set for yourself. It's never too late to start living in a way that reflects the legacy you want to create. Your legacy is your gift to the future, and you have the power to shape it with every moment, every decision, and every interaction. The impact you make today, no matter how small it seems, will contribute to the story of your life and the lives of those who come after you. Gratitude is often seen as a simple feeling, something we acknowledge when things are going well or when we receive something we value. But in reality, gratitude is a powerful force that has the potential to transform our lives on a deeper level. When practiced consciously and consistently, gratitude can shift our entire perspective on life, enhancing our emotional well-being, fostering stronger relationships, and even improving our physical health. At its core, gratitude is about recognizing the value in the present moment, no matter how big or small. It's about training yourself to see the good, even when life feels difficult or challenging. In a world where negativity often seems to dominate the headlines, it's easy to focus on what we lack or what's going wrong. But gratitude invites us to step back, pause, and appreciate what we already have, whether it's a loving family, the beauty of nature, our health, or even the simplest pleasures like a warm cup of coffee or a smile from a stranger. When you practice gratitude regularly, it helps you develop a more positive mindset. This doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect, but it means choosing to focus on what is going right. By shifting our attention away from what we don't have, we begin to realize how much we actually have. It's easy to overlook the good things in our lives when we're caught up in the whirlwind of daily demands, but taking a moment to express gratitude brings our awareness back to what is truly important. One of the most profound effects of gratitude is that it has the power to change how we feel on a day-to-day basis. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude consistently experience greater levels of happiness and reduced levels of stress and depression. Gratitude rewires our brains to notice the positive aspects of our lives rather than focusing on the negatives. When we cultivate gratitude, we activate the brain's reward system, which leads to increased feelings of joy, contentment, and fulfillment. Moreover, gratitude improves our relationships with others. When we take the time to express appreciation for the people in our lives, we deepen our connections with them. Gratitude is contagious. When you show gratitude to others, it often inspires them to do the same, creating a positive feedback loop of appreciation and kindness. A simple thank you can go a long way in making someone feel valued and seen, and it strengthens the bonds we share. Whether it's a thank you for a kind gesture, for someone's support, or for their presence in our lives, expressing gratitude fosters trust and mutual respect, which are the cornerstones of any strong relationship. Gratitude is also deeply connected to resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments of difficulty. When we're faced with obstacles, it's easy to feel defeated or overwhelmed. However, practicing gratitude during times helps us to reframe our situation and find meaning in our struggles. By focusing on what we are grateful for, even in difficult moments, we can maintain a sense of hope and perspective. Gratitude helps us see that even in adversity, there are still things to be thankful for. Whether it's the support of loved ones, the lessons we learn from hardship, or the strength we discover within ourselves, gratitude empowers us to persevere and move forward with greater resilience. In addition to its emotional and relational benefits, gratitude has been shown to have a positive impact on our physical health. People who regularly practice gratitude report lower levels of stress, better sleep, and improved immune function. This is likely because gratitude helps to reduce the negative effects of stress by promoting relaxation and reducing the production of stress hormones like cortisol. When we focus on what we're thankful for, our bodies respond by releasing feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin, which help to lower blood pressure, improve mood, and increase feelings of well-being. Gratitude also encourages mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment. When we express gratitude, we have to pause and pay attention to the world around us. This mindfulness helps us to stay grounded, to savor life's simple pleasures, and to recognize the beauty in our daily experiences. Rather than rushing through our days, we take a moment to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. This mindfulness, in turn, contributes to a greater sense of contentment and fulfillment. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to strengthen our sense of purpose. When we reflect on the things we are grateful for, we recognize the many blessings that enrich our lives. This reflection often leads to a deeper sense of meaning and connection to something greater than ourselves. We begin to appreciate the value of our own lives and the impact we have on others. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance. When we are grateful for what we have, we naturally become more open to receiving even more. We attract more positivity, more opportunities, and more joy into our lives because we're operating from a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Perhaps most importantly, gratitude helps us to appreciate life for what it is, not just for what it gives us. In a culture that often emphasizes achievement, success, and accumulation, gratitude reminds us that life itself is a gift. It encourages us to find beauty in the ordinary, to recognize the richness of each moment, and to feel deeply thankful for the mere act of being alive. In doing so, gratitude helps us to live more fully and more authentically, with a deeper appreciation for both the big milestones and the small, everyday moments. Let me know if you'd like any changes or further elaboration. As we reflect on the power of gratitude, it becomes clear that this simple practice holds the key to unlocking a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose in our lives. Gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us to focus on the abundance that already exists around us rather than what is lacking. It improves our emotional well being, strengthens our relationships, and enhances our physical health. Through intentional action and mindfulness, we begin to see that life, with all its complexities, is a gift, one that is rich with opportunities for growth, connection, and joy. By living with intention, prioritizing what matters, and taking action, we can create a life that is aligned with our deepest values. Reflecting on our legacy, we recognize that the choices we make today, however small, shape the impact we leave on the world and those around us. And through it all, gratitude serves as a powerful anchor, reminding us to pause, reflect, and appreciate the journey, no matter where it takes us. Ultimately, the way we approach each day, each moment, and each relationship is a reflection of how we choose to live with purpose. We don't need perfection to create a meaningful life. What we need is the courage to act with intention, the humility to learn from our experiences, and the openness to embrace gratitude as a guiding force. Let this be a reminder that in the end, it's not the achievements we accumulate or the mistakes we avoid that define us, but the love we give, the actions we take, and the gratitude we carry in our hearts.